a Kangaroo Fern production.
A Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate. Each of us runs a different pace in life.
As a millennial or someone coming of age into adulthood, it's just a lot of things to process, and a lot of things that you want can't happen now because a lot of things are
In love, friendships, and our own self-worth. As we embark on these journeys, we hold the hope to learn a little more each day.
why can't I have whatever they have? And oftentimes I find myself comparing my progress, comparing what I have with other people, even like in the slyest way. It seems like it's
As we survive and strive to be stronger.
You are really sure and aware of your being as a person and your truth, your core, your everything. Anything that you put out in the table won't be used against you.
So I'd like to welcome you all to love, growth, and freedom.
the different kinds of love that we could see in this world, and on the idea of how love is crazy and how love has different meanings for all of us.
A podcast that believes in love, inspires growth, and advocates freedom. Let me be your friend, your guide, as we all ride the crazy adventure called life. Powered by Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate.
This then. All right. Hi guys. This is gonna be a snippet of whatever we're gonna talk about. This is behind the scenes, but yeah. Okay.
This is
So-
just like us talking because you mentioned we talk like we're in a podcast. So okay,
exactly.
so that's the context.
We do.
So anyway,
You know what? Why don't we start one? We could start one. It's a good thing. It's a good idea.
you can
But
have
then-
like extra,
Yeah,
extra stuff.
I was thinking maybe we could do that. Like, I'd have a co-host. I could manage it. You could just help me think of the things that we could talk about, and that would be great because it's really good to have someone to bounce off ideas with, honestly. And
Yeah.
so we could do that. That's in the books, guys. If that's a no, you can think of something that you want to talk about. Where we can meet in the middle. But on this point, I was feeling really good about it, and then I was really feeling demotivated. I don't even know why. I had this week. And this happens to me all the time, ha. Alam mo yung feeling na you get it, parang it's a cycle. It's like every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks that you're gonna feel
Oh,
like,
I get that. I really get that.
yeah, like when you feel like you don't even want to do anything because it feels like whatever you're doing isn't amounting to anything. And it's not true though, but you just feel that way. And that happened to me like last week and the other week. I was just like, I just wake up and dread the day, and I'm like hoping that the day would end. I was just hoping my classes were done and finished. But it took me a while to write all of this, and then when I was able to write it, I felt like, okay, wow, I have these things pala. I've never thought na kaya ko pang isipin to at this very moment. So yeah, I had trouble with writing that because I was just really feeling the zone of doing it. But it was so upsetting because I was so motivated to do it. I was like, I'm gonna do my episodes ahead of time, blah 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 blah. So I'm just gonna be uploading and etc. etc. Like
Right.
dumb bitch. That didn't happen. I still crammed myself to do this, but I'm glad though. This episode that we did about selfishness will be released this Friday. So thank you for filming it with me today.
That's quick. What
Yeah.
do you release? Do you release?
Every week.
What's your
Every
schedule of
Friday.
releasing now? Every week.
Every
Right.
Friday. Every week pa din ako. I started every
Right,
week. I'm
so-
still staying with every week.
Oh, that's good. That's good because
Yeah.
what I was doing before, and if you realize, I don't know, you've been with me for a while now. You've been following the things that I've been doing, and I think you've also realized that most of the things I start, I don't continue.
He did. I was gonna bring that up. You were never. I'm not like, oh, he hasn't been doing his podcast anymore.
I know I haven't been doing my podcast. I actually deleted my Twitter because I only
Your
had
stan
Twitter. Because
Twitter?
I had Stan Twitter, right? So I deleted it because I realized, okay, I'm over BLs now. But I was watching Gaia sa pelikula. And
I
was like,
also
okay.
did. I gave it a shot. Ian Pangilinan got me. I like them. I like the English Shero guy, English Shero vibe.
Yeah, but I finished
Game Boys.
Game Boys. I finished Game Boys. It was really cute.
I
I
know the
was.
kiss was the kiss was I wasn't expecting the kiss.
Oh, that
I
was really
wasn't,
good. I mean, I saw it before. I saw it in. They told me that there was gonna be a kiss,
but the
and I've
kiss
read about
was
it.
just
But seeing it was
right.
like,
It was
oh,
like, whoa, okay, they went there because I was never expecting that from a Pinoy BL, because I never saw that with together. They didn't really make out or something. It was really
okay,
innocent.
okay. I have so many thoughts. Can I just okay before you continue with that? All right. So the Game Boys thing, I actually ended it at episode 10. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with episode 10. But they added three more episodes, and I was like, it got better and better. And Kokoy had some more um, complexity to his character, which is great. They expanded his character to someone genuine and real, and the fights were real.
The fights
It's
were
really how people fight.
intense.
It's circular and and it's real. That's really how people fight, and that's the thing.
Exactly.
So okay,
So you want to start a podcast, or perhaps you've already started one, but you're still unclear on how you can actually make this podcasting work. No worries. That's why we're here for you. We are Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate, powered by Kangaroo Fern Media Lab. Join our network. Contact us at info@kangaroofern.com because we're stronger together.
you mentioned together, and I'm a together apologist. So it really is something. All right. So I'm willing to admit that the first season, the original Together, is like it ended really badly. It was really corny,
Yeah.
and the way it led up to that point to the end was unfair. But when they did this five special episodes, and I don't think you watched it. Did you
Not
watch
yet.
it?
Not yet. But go.
I'm
Not yet. I haven't had the time.
I'm
But
not
okay,
gonna
go.
spoil. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it is worth it. It really is. It made up for everything that was bad in the first season. It made up for
So you're
everything, and
together
it had
apologist. I never hated it. I was just like, I never expected this from Together because there
it
wasn't
was.
a kissing scene in Together, right?
And I'm telling you, the five episodes are worth it. They are worth it. They're really good.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna give it a shot again.
But
Kala mo
okay,
nasaktan eh.
I'm gonna lower your expectations so that you have fun with it. It's it's okay. I mean, it's don't think about it too much. It's just like enjoyable watching. It's just okay, just watch it. But what I like about it is that the director actually used the strengths of the actors and actually did it well in the sense that okay, ganto, this is how uh what Chirawit does his acting because when you were watching together the first one,
He just stares and
there's something, yeah, he
his
just
eyes.
stares, and that's what he's good at. That's what he's good at. But when you give him heavier, more dramatic scenes, you kind of question it. And what Still Together does is that they take what he can do and make it more profound, and that's what I love about it. And of course, you win meta win, still amazing. I mean, I started watching for Bright because I mean, look at him. I started watching for
Yeah,
him, but I ended
exactly.
up watching for Win Meta Win because Win was really
Win was
cute and
good
really good
naman.
at
Yeah, but
doing it.
what I laughed about the whole part with Together, like the prequel or whatever, the first season, the original season, I laughed at how he just ran off and cried. I was like, really? That's just like the other edge of the stair, and like you cried.
Oh
Like,
no,
I'm sorry. I
no.
was
The
just like,
thing is, you could have ended on episode 11, and it would have been okay. You could have ended at episode 11. That's it. Just forget about what happens next. But really, even if you watch the whole thing until episode 13 and then you watch the five extra episodes, you're gonna feel like, okay, this is what we deserve because the ending the ending of Still Together. I don't want to spoil anything, but like the ending is what we deserve.
All
It's what
right.
we deserve.
I
But
love
don't
how you
expect too
have.
much.
All
I
right,
don't
got
expect
it.
too much. Again, don't expect too much. But still, it's what we deserve.
All
It's what
right,
we
thank
deserve.
you for that. Okay, at least I know that it's what we deserve. I'm gonna probably watch that soon. I'm just giving it a shot. I'm just taking my time off. Speaking of BLs, I gave Quarantines a try, and the one with Royce Cabrera and
Hey,
Kyoki Hana.
if you're gonna release this, you better be careful about what you say because people
Oh,
be
I
watching.
no, I'm not bad. I'm just gonna be like, I like the series. It started well. Honestly, it started well, and I had a huge crush. Okay, so it's funny because I did Game Boys because I had a huge crush with Kokoy. Like Kokoy was like cute, and they had a movie together, right? Royce Cabrera and Kokoy, and it was the controversial movie where like the killers, the
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
fuck boys.
they did. Yeah, they
They
did.
did
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
and Royce was the top, and Kokoy was the bottom in the video. So it was just crazy. So guys, it was in the wrong intentions why I watched all those, but. I mm, but I did watch Kokoy because I really liked how he acted, and I enjoyed watching Game Boys. Game Boys it was crafted well, though there were a little tweaks that you need to do just with the acting, but everybody fit the roles well.
Oh yeah,
Because
for sure.
I hated I hated Terrence for a moment, and then I hated the new guy that came in, and then whatever, and like it was just really and Pearl was a precious character in that series for me. It was a very her comic relief was just really good. Like that's really good. But
Yeah, yeah.
when it came to core and things, the only thing that would want to say about it, it was a little too fast. But I can't say that that's not what happens in the LGBTQIA community. But it just felt a little okay. Wait, love a god, or there was that kind of thing na agad na parang how does anyone, because okay, so I have this thing, Carl, psych me up. No, I have this thing. I've been thinking about this recently, where I don't think I'm capable of feeling as much as the ones that I'm watching in the movies, in the series, and whatever. Because I feel like, okay, maybe it's too dramatic for me to feel this, but or to think that I'd ever feel like this. But you know how, if you watch Grace, you know how Meredith confesses her love for her husband, or how people in these series just say, I want you, I got like that strong of a feeling. And it makes me look back into my life. I've never wanted something so much talaga without thinking of the practical stuff. I've always been like, oh, I want to be here. I want to go. This is what I want. I know what I want, but it was never like, alam mo yung parang far shot, and you're just gonna get wherever you want to go. Just getting to that point. It has always
Mhm.
been, I want to go there. How am I gonna get there? And mas nagpo-focus ako dun sa how am I gonna get there. Hindi siya yung parang, I want to be a superstar. I want to be a singer. I want to be like that. And that's my only dream. And that's the dream that I've been going on. Ako is, I want this dream. And if it doesn't work out for me, I'll probably have to do another thing that I think would do good for me. May mga ganun parts. And I feel like I never would feel the same way about the person. Not because I don't want to, it's because maybe I haven't found the right person to have those kinds of feelings, immense feelings for, or people around me for. But I was just like thinking about that. Maybe I'm not gonna have that kind of feeling anymore. Because parang, bakit ganon? Sa mga series na to, sa mga movies na to, they kind of like just do it. Just jump into that barrel of whatever emotions that is. And I don't do that. I don't ever do that. I always try to get myself, you know, tug. And if I'm ever gonna jump, I'm still aware of me choosing that literal thing of jumping into that emotion. Okay, so that's me. So
All right. So
that's
here's
like
what I think.
go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's what I think. I think that I think that you're framing this in a way.
This podcast is brought to you by Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate, powered by Kangaroo Fern Media Lab. Kangaroo Fern is Australia's independent video and podcast management agency with the mission to help individuals and entrepreneurs to start their own podcasts and harness the power of podcasting. Book now via www.kangaroofern.com.
That you're trying to sort of excuse yourself, that you have courage and prudence to do certain things, that you have these values of courage and prudence and bravery and strength and self-reliance to be able to face these things. And I'm saying, I'm not saying that you don't have that, I'm saying that you do have that. But also, I think that sometimes, with the stories that you've been telling me and the things that you're telling me now, I think that sometimes the strong face that you show comes from a sense of fear and insecurity, because you don't know what's going to happen next. You're not sure if this is going to work out, so you're already cutting it before it even happens. You're already distancing yourself and looking at the practical side before giving it a shot. So okay, so here's the thing about all these BLs. I heard someone say, okay, BLs are K drama for queer folk, you know? So folks, FOLX, I don't know what it is, but like BLs are K drama for queer folks. That's what they say. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. It has the same light, light-hearted stuff. And Gaya sa Pelikula really goes like a K drama, which is very interesting. And the thing about that is that you say that you haven't experienced that. You might be thinking that it's impossible to feel that. That you might be thinking that because I haven't experienced that, it's probably not true. And I'm telling you now that it's true because I've experienced it. What I watched in Still Together, the reason why I was able to connect with that is because I know what it feels like, with the little touches and the smile and the stares and the.
But it's weird though, because I know I've been in one relationship, and I knew I went too far at a certain point. I I knew that I was able to feel some of those, but it's like the feeling that will I ever still be open to feel that way again? So it comes from a faith to a place of fear, and it does scare me that maybe I'm not gonna be able to do that because I'm always gonna be just afraid of just doing it. You know, it's crazy. It
So
becomes a little
it's
yeah.
it it takes strength also to master the bold move of just letting go and trusting that you can handle it. So there's also that sense of, can you trust yourself to handle certain things? Or maybe you don't trust yourself. That's why you want to be sure all the time that you've planned things out, because you don't trust yourself that you would actually follow through. Maybe you're gonna have to start really trusting yourself, in the sense that even though you're not consciously thinking about it, you've already sort of subconsciously had that mechanism of being like, oh, I'm this kind of person. I'm sure that I can handle it. And I trust myself that I can adapt to the situation. And that's really what you need when you want to fall in love. And falling in love, that's why they call it falling in love, is because you're literally gonna have to fall. You know what I mean?
Uh, but okay, I get what you mean. But see, me look at my face. Look at everything that's like. I
I know,
think
I'm
it's
reading it, and it's kind of, you're not
it's getting me
confused.
like
You're not confused, but you're hesitant about it.
yeah, but because as a person, I think it's part of my personality, and I don't want to make excuses for it. But it's always been my kind of thing where, for example, roller skates. I've been doing roller skates for the past few months, and I don't do tricks and whatever if I don't feel like I could do it. So I really have to work hard. I have to do some other stuff, train for it before I do it. And that's how it's always been. Even in cheerleading, I never do tumblings out of a whim because I just want to do it. No, I have to go through all the process of being sure that okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is it. This is it. And I'm really gonna go through all the process of strengthening myself and being mentally prepared before I hit those. But when I hit those things, when I do what I need to do, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like okay, I can do anything, indestructible. But on this level, on emotions, I've always thought that I've got a grip of that. But actually, speaking to you right now and speaking to other people, like it's been a while since I've been talking to someone recently because now I don't even know. I told you I felt a little off. I even distanced myself to like some friends of mine and whatever because everybody's having their own lives and etc. So I'm like, okay, let me have my own life and like let me focus on my own shiz. And it now is one of the few moments that I kind of get to feel connected with someone again because we talked and we're friends and this is how we really usually talk. And I haven't gotten this kind of conversation for a while now. So yeah, I've been processing all those. I've been thinking about those kinds of things recently. That am I even ever capable? And I was trying to think, now am I really just this year was supposed to be me trying to go out. Okay, this year was supposedly that, but not in the sense that I would go out with every guy that I want to meet. But it's kind of like I was so determined to actually go on to classes, do things that I enjoy doing, and then hopefully meet the person that I'm supposed to meet, whatever, in those places. But it's not. It hasn't happened, and I'm not looking for it, naman. It's just I've had people that I talk to din naman. I've had kinito, but parang tulad ngayon, I will give you an example. I'm talking to someone naman. He's really nice. But parang he's becoming, alam mo yung sinabi ko sa'yo the last time, mayroon ako kinata sa'yo the last time na ganun din di ba? Na parang he was more of thinking about himself na. Yung kinancel ko, yung I learned to walk away first before I jumped in the gun. It's kind of happening right now again. It's when you feel the initial feeling of oh gosh, I want to talk to this person. I want to like like do it like whatever this is. I'm not gonna expect too much, but I'm gonna jump into it and just gonna have fun about it. But then when you kind of like okay get a grip of your life, and then that person also walks a little farther apart, and you guys don't make the same effort to do so anymore. Hindi na ako nag-effort because well, probably takot ka nang mag-effort ulit. And I don't even want to seem like I want to have it now, but it's kind of that. You were correct. It comes from a place of fear. So I just don't really know how to deal with it. Like that's
Okay.
me being honest here, guys. I don't even know. I think I know how to deal with my shit. Guys, no, I don't. I still try to. But yeah.
I'll give you a suggestion of what you can do. Um, it's something that I'm only saying this because I also try to do it with myself, and it's been effective so far. Is that you're already aware of your patterns of behavior, and the thing about that is that we can't really, we're born with it. We can't really change our patterns of behavior, our attitudes. We can't really change it. So if you're a certain way, you're going to be a certain way all the time. The thing about that is that we can be aware of it and actually mitigate its effects on other people and on ourselves. So, you knowing that you have a pattern of um, having that lovey dovey moment and then stop making an effort because apparently there's something. So, start to question that. Why does that always happen? Part of it is your fault. You got to recognize that part of it is your fault. It really is. It's how you handle certain.
Look at David. I was like,
You're having a hard time accepting it. You're having a hard time
Yeah.
accepting it because
Oh my-
you're thinking that no, it's the other person's fault. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. The thing is, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing based on your tendencies as a person. But the question is it helpful? Does it work all the time? Is it useful to you? Does it give you a satisfaction that lasts? Does it make you happy? That's a question. Does it make you happy? Maybe it gives you pleasure for sure. I mean, you could get pleasure from anything, but does it make you happy?
It
So you're
did
aware
for
of
a
your
while.
behaviors now.
I mean
Sure,
that
yeah,
it
but
did
like
for a while.
when you say happy, you mean like something that it's not something that you work towards. It's something that you experience constantly. You know what I mean? So it's something you cultivate within yourself. And does it give you happiness? are you happy right now knowing that part of it is probably your fault, that certain things don't work the way you expect them to? And I think here's the thing, I think that part of you already expects that certain things are going to fail.
Yes, exactly the point. exact, exactly. like,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
it's not gonna work. like, mm,
yeah.
I'm on
You
this.
see, that very attitude of expecting it to fail is already something that you gotta be aware of. You gotta recognize that and start to sort of work on it, you know? And it's not gonna feel natural for sure. But again, everything easy is good, but not everything good is easy.
We are Independent Podcast Network. We are Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate. Would you like to hear your brand while supporting quality podcasts? Contact us now at advertise@guerrillapodcastsyndicate.com.
You know what I mean?
This is gonna come out. This episode is coming out, guys. This is a bonus episode. But yeah, wow, okay. That's true. That's very that's me per se. It's not that I wanted to fail, it's just I set myself up to like to lower the expectations. Or
You're gonna have to set different standards though. You're gonna have to set a different standard for yourself.
but okay,
And I think you're
can
the
I
kind of
defend
person who
who has what?
okay, sige.
Go,
Sige,
go, go.
make
I'll
excuses.
defend
Make
it. But
excuses. Go
I'll defend
ahead.
myself a little bit first. But okay, keep continuing. The kind of person that was what?
I feel like you would be the kind of person, man, who's willing to set a certain standard for yourself. So it's not a challenge really to set a better standard for yourself because it's a natural thing for you to do what you think you can do. Does that make sense? Sorry. Uh, I think you're the kind of person who would do things because you believe that you can do them. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
If you
I'm
can't
done.
do them, if you know that you can't do it, so you're not going to do it. But that sort of closes every other door of things that you might be able to do that you're just like, I can't do it. I'm going to give it up. And that really works in this sense. Now, you stopping that kind of effort, stop giving effort to other people. And I'm talking romantically here. You stopping the effort that you give might be that door that you close without you realizing that kaya mo pala, that you can do it.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm
Sige,
just gonna
defend
explain.
yourself.
I'm gonna defend
Defend
a certain
yourself.
point. Okay, so I've had experiences kasi, where I knew that I moved a little too far or like wanted it a little too more than the other party did. And it wasn't bad naman. I learned from it and whatsoever. But my mindset kasi recently about those kinds of things is if someone wants to stay with me, that person will also make the same effort that I give. So what wires me to actually do that is when the person doesn't also give the same efforts. Like for example, you know how I told you about the other guy that I was talking to was like when he messages, hello, how are you? And then I will reply, I'm good and I'm okay. And he won't reply for 2 hours and then he's just gonna come back with his own topic. So I like we were never meeting in a certain wavelength. So like my idea now is it's not that it's such a bad thing that it happened. It's just, I wasn't really in the same wavelength. So why would I push? But that is my mindset now. Is if someone wants to be in my life, someone will try to make that effort to actually do it too. Hindi naman sa gusto kong manligaw. It's just you just throw the ball onto his side and then you throw it back. And basically it's kind of happening again. And you're probably right. It's something that is with me. And I've been noticing it din naman. So I've been trying to make a little effort na parang to be a little more with my emojis or whatever people do to talk cutesy anymore. I try naman. But parang I can only do so much then with what I'm given on that end. Hindi naman ako sa I am kind of making an excuse, but gets Like, how will I get this kind of piece of a cake if, or how will I make a cake if I only have one egg? Parang ganon. Like, how do you expect me to do that? So parang ganon. And it's not that I don't want to feel it. It's just I have not met someone that I think is worth it. And probably because I have high standards or because this was based on experiences. Like, diba, my last long-term relationship was cut off because of cheating. And that I remember choosing that person so much that I was even willing to like move to someplace else, to a province, just to be together and work our lives together. It was it was at that point that I knew that I could naman. It's just now, akala ko, though I'm over naman my ex, I'm over naman all those. It's just, hindi pa pala talaga ako ready, I guess. Like, talking to you about this now and being able to explain all of those fears that I've had. I don't think I'm ever ready yet. Though I'm not scared, hindi din ako nagpapanik at nagmamadali ayusin. Kasi sabi ko, well, maybe dadating din yung panahon na, okay, may realize ko na okay din ako. You know, I guess. I don't know. Like, yun lang yung thought ko on it. But
Right.
yeah, you do have a point. I have a fault
Yeah.
in that. I'm not
But
gonna say
you
no.
know, it's. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you because it sounds to me like you're trying your best, right? You're trying your best. You're making all this effort just for someone to not give the same effort back to you, right? So it's there's a sense of what it feels to me is that there might be a sense of, for lack of a better term, a kind of hopelessness that feels like, you know what, maybe I'm never gonna feel this certain way, or maybe I'm just never gonna meet the right person. You know what I mean? So the thing about that, which I want to ask you, is, and I want you to clarify this for me. So this is what came up to my mind is, why are you dependent on other people to feel a certain way? Why is it that you're trying to depend on someone and base your effort on what they give instead of
Oh,
setting the standard on yourself?
oh shit! See, thank you for pointing that out. So I feel like I'm making a transaction then. Oh wow! Fuck. See, okay, guys, I never knew. But no, it's not that I'm basing my emotions. It's probably the reason why I do that is, again, it comes from a place of fear. I'm not as courageous as I was before. I still think about it now na parang, alam mo yung the idea that if you're the one who loved more and hurt more, it means you're still clearly the winner because you were able to give whatever you have left in your artillery or whatever you have in your body and your love and everything that you can give to that
Right.
person. No one, it wasn't your loss. It was that person's loss because you were able to pour that out. But I guess the reason why it's a little transactional, a little, more of basing on what their efforts are, it's because I kind of probably been scared of being able to be the one to put out most of that and then get nothing in return, or get at least, I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me kind of thing, that kind of thing. That's, I don't know. And it scares me, dude. I've been scared to death because I believe in love. I want it. I really do. At a certain point, I want a family and some kids. And again, let me clarify this. You also said that I do like see things failing. Like, I expect it to fail, but I also expect it to work out somehow. But a better example would that be for that would be is that I've already made a decision. Even though if I'm not gonna have a partner, I'm gonna have a child. I'm gonna have
Mm,
a child, and I'm gonna pour all my love to that child. See, I've already been thinking of not having one because I don't even want to give it a shot.
right.
So
Exactly.
it's not I don't want to give it a shot. It's just I'm scared, and I've been seeing people. I've met people who are older than me who's stuck at the job that they do. It's not that it's bad. It's what they want. It's where they're happy. So go for it. I'm happy for them. But it's I want it, I want it, but I don't think I'm strong enough to want it now. But I hope that I grow up to want it. you know.
Can I say something? Can I say
Go for
something?
it. Sorry, I was just like my mind's go.
This is how it sounds like to me. It sounds to me as if, yeah, okay, you want it, but it sounds to me as if you don't think you deserve it.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss an episode by clicking on the subscribe button now. This podcast is possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
No, that's why I don't even know if I don't even know what to say about that. I want to deserve it. I do. I just
Because you deserve it for sure, definitely.
uh,
But do you believe that? Because you like we talked about this. Like you're saying that uh you might be already in just going into it already expecting that it might fail, knowing that you can't be 100% in this thing because of your experiences and you've been disappointed before, so you don't want to pour 100% into a certain thing. But maybe, and you're also you're telling me about your values of self-reliance, and maybe you're also thinking, oh, you know what, even if nobody loves me in the way that I want to be loved, I can handle myself anyway. I've been doing it for the longest time. I've been i've been taking care of myself, and I've been successful in taking care of myself, and that's a very strong thing. And that's something that you should be proud of, in fact, that you can take care of yourself. But have you considered maybe allowing other people to take care of you? Have you ever allowed someone to take care of you?
I think I've given it a shot with other people and friends, but sometimes they just end up falling short. It's not that,
Disappointed?
yeah, it's not that, it's not that, it's just, I grew up in a household that's not emotional. So we don't process things, we don't talk about anything. Everybody's just left to deal with their own things. And I've been trying to break that out here. I've been trying to talk to my father how he's doing at work, getting to know what it's going. And really just trying to probe and all that. But I've never I tried, okay, and the one time I did, which was my ex, it was just hellish to that extent afterwards, and wala lang. It was just upsetting. Oh my gosh! Think no, I could. Can I just say thank you? Because I would have never have caught this without your help. Because I've always thought of me being okay, aware of my own shit. That I'm this, I'm like that. I get it, but I don't really get to process like the other deeper stuff. And the questions that you ask are making me like think, and I like it.
Yeah.
But it's just oh okay. But yeah, I've never. I do allow. I do try. But it ends up like I don't think anyone can ever take care of me the way I could take care of myself.
Right. So
Like
your
I don't.
standard is yourself, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, it's also, you got to realize, I think, that, you know, you're if that's the case, then you're going to be really disappointed with a lot of people, and that's going to be the truth of most of your relationships with other people, is going to be like, you can't really. Now here's the thing. Okay, part of it really is how you've been raised. Part of it really is how you've been making an effort, and it's kind of, as you said, it's kind of transactional for sure. So part of it really is your fault, but also not everything is your fault, if that makes any sense. Like, part of it really is your fault, and you can do something to change it. If you change your expectations, if you I'm not asking you to lower your expectations. Do not lower your standards. What I'm asking you is to adapt your expectation to a certain person. Realistically speaking, that's the way to not be disappointed. Because I feel like what it sounds to me like is that you set standards the same for everyone. You expect the same things from everyone.
Yeah.
But you
And
got to
that
realize that
yeah.
they're not going to, you know.
But that's where it goes transactional again because see,
Yeah.
at least I'm caught that's where it becomes transactional again because maybe that's why I feel disappointed about that because if that person would need mine my assistance, my support at that certain point. It's either I often exceed that, or I am sufficing that kind of expectation. I think maybe not, maybe I'm not so sure, but I've I I'd like to think I always go the extra mile for the people I care about, and I do. And sometimes I even do that for people that I don't really know and care about. So it's not that I don't care about them. It's just like, for example, far off friends. I've had people who wanted to contact me and just talk to me, and on a deeper level, I was like, okay, sure, let's have these conversations. And even though they're not really a close friend of mine, may I still went on with that.
Yeah,
May mga ganong parts. So
of course.
it's crazy. My mind seems to be like going all over the place. And so sobrang ko analytic with my own things. I watch Psych2Go, I watch everything that is related with how I think and whatever what could work. I even might have even thought that I've had like high functioning depression or whatever, but I've never really gotten diagnosed because I've never really like thought of that way. Because I was like, oh, I'm aware enough to think about it. I'm not probably depressed or whatever. So, and I've checked the symptoms. I'm not. I feel that way, but I still do the things that I need to do. I don't really feel totally demotivated and incapacitated to do things just because I feel bad or I feel like I can't carry myself enough. And there are checklists. So I was like, okay, I do that to myself. I do that to myself. See, I'm hard on myself. Like all I can say. It's it's crazy. And a part of me thinks like nobody can ever understand this. Nobody can ever get it. And it's okay. Because I don't think anyone could ever get what's going on with somebody else's mind. We could read minds, we could understand if we could read minds, like whatever, but we could never predict what this person would do and feel if they had the free will to experience their life still. So I was like, it's gonna be a complex thing. But yeah. Wow.
Does that
See,
does that come
go.
from probably, again, it's what it comes across as is that you've already set walls around you and you've already defined your boundaries, which is a good thing for sure, because it's important to know where you stand, and that's important. But it also sometimes keeps people out because you've already, okay, I'm self sustaining. I can sustain myself for sure. And that's a good thing. It's survival, but it's also walling people out, you know? And I've seen you make an effort. I know that you make an effort as a friend. You're one of my really good friends, and I see that you really make an effort to reach out to other people, to contact people, to keep in touch, to really ask genuine questions, and to listen well. And I think that what you said is true, and it's good that you realize that you are being hard on yourself. You are being hard on yourself, and you're thinking, you might be thinking too much about this. Is the truth. You might be thinking too much about it, when the truth really is that you just have to um, adapt your expectations to what people are capable of. And once you do that, you won't feel like your efforts are wasted. You know,
Probably.
I'm not saying that there are people who are not worth the effort. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you really have to realize that some people can't give you the same level of effort that you're used to, but they will give you an effort in certain ways,
In the best possible
in
way
their
they
own way.
could. Yeah.
Exactly, in the best way that they can. And
See,
everyone's trying their best anyway, so
Your podcast journey starts here. Take the first step on your side. Hustle with us. It starts with a great domain. Get your podcast web host with Beard and Coffee at www.beardandcoffee.com.au or find us at Facebook.
yeah. See, guys, I love this episode. Okay, this is going to be a special episode. I'm going to release this after all the season 3. I'm going to release this during my season break. But yeah, that is the price to pay of being so wound up. Carl's. This is I'm so wound up tight, honestly. I know it, I feel it. But do you know the thing where you know the advices, you know the things that you're supposed to do, but you don't get to implement it and apply it in your life at certain points. And now I'm really struggling about it. And it's really good to be able to talk to you about this. Thank you. See, I need a mentor. Can somebody be my mentor? Can somebody be like my old dude person that I could talk to like this? Thank you so much, though. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the friendship. And to be honest, like our friendship is one of the most unexpected ones. To be honest, if I would have to think about it, and I'm glad that I gave it a shot. So this is one. This is one example of me trying. You know, like being friends with you and everybody else that I meet, like in different circumstances that I've never expected to meet people. So it's really amazing. Like people who do spoken word, people who do roller skating. I've been trying. I've been really trying. But yeah, which is also something that I want to realize, and I'm glad I do, is that I've been so focused on like being self-reliant is that I build the walls to push people away that I don't intend to. And this is not the first time that when I ask people, I ask them what they think about me. Is they always feel intimidated when I'm there, and I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, yeah, I
Like,
get that. I get that.
like why? Why would you be? I'm just happy and fun. Like y'all, you gotta get to know this, like this fun part, but that's just the facade. Like everybody thinks that si ganyan, si ganito, si parang they even call me sir and they also say po, and I'm like, what? No, I'm I'm as confused as all of you are. I'm just I'm just good at making it seem I'm not confused. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all really good at putting up that facade. Like even me, for example, it's oh, I'm gonna share. I was just about to share, but I sort of filtered myself. I'm not okay. I'm gonna stop filtering myself because that's a problem that that's a problem that I have.
Good
I
job
keep
for not
filtering myself.
filtering yourself.
So I'm gonna share something very um something that I feel like is important to me.
Go
Uh,
for it.
there's this thing that uh I was raised in a very Christian household, very Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
very religious, and so I've been raised with these values, and I've learned how to imbibe them and practice them, and really seem as if I I have these values. But it also makes me curious about the other side of life. What does it feel like to sin and do certain things? So when I experience those things, when I experience those those sinful moments, like I felt good about it. But whenever I was in front of people who think that I'm a good boy, I know how to pretend to be a good boy. Up to the point that people have actually been saying, "Why don't you become a Jesuit? Why don't you try becoming a priest, a Jesuit? Go and apply to the Society of Jesus." But they don't know. They have no idea of the debauchery and the decadence that I enjoy. They have no idea about those kinds of things. But so I think what I'm trying to say is that we all have that sort of facade that we put on and pretend to be around people, that split level kind of mind. And the only danger about that is that, are we pushing people away because we're walling ourselves in this filter? Are we being authentic people? Are we being authentic about what we need, what we deserve, what we desire? Are we expecting the right things about other people? Are we adapting to other people's capabilities? Are we afraid? Is that why we're being inauthentic? Are we afraid that other people will not accept us for who we are? Is that something you feel also? Are you afraid that some people just won't accept you if you sort of really let your guard down and just
Uh,
be
it's
yourself?
a
Is it?
it's a
Did you
common
say that?
fear. It is. I fear that, but it's also weird. I was like, okay, I fear that. I fear being weak. I fear being but I also know that being vulnerable is a strength. And it's weird because it's like a battle in my head of what I know and what I know should be done. Pero kasi, honestly, right now naman with where I am, that's why I'm trying to be vulnerable. I've been working on being vulnerable and being honest with what I feel and who I am. But it's also true that I have different compartments where in front of my family, I'm the perfect little whatever that I'm doing. But behind and people that really knows me, I do some other stuff that's not the debauchery and the decadence that I think you said that you're enjoying. But yeah, I think it's normal to feel that way. But if I was given a chance to just say it all out in the open, I would, I guess, so that I'm free of that fear. But yeah, I can't say that I'm fully not afraid of it, but it's just, it's not as scary as it seems for me sometimes, especially like with where I am now. So in this episode, this special episode that we're doing now, it feels really good for me because it's one of the most vulnerable ones that I made, and it's really good. And thank you for being here.
It feels good to be vulnerable now. Sometimes it really is.
Yeah, it's. Wait, let me charge my Mac. Oh my goodness, it's gonna die. My laptop's gonna die in a few minutes. I never knew that we were recording for that long already. But
Yeah, it's already 5.
Wow! No way! No kidding. I never.
We've been recording this special episode for an hour now.
No kidding. It's an hour special. At least I got content during my break. But yeah, well, if you have something to do though, I won't keep you long. But end everything on a nice note. I'd want to say thank you for helping me process. We guys, wait on it. We might make our own podcast too. Thank you so much, Carl. It was really good. This is one of the good things I like talking with you though, because I get to, just tear off some stuff down because you get to understand.
Yeah, it's important to have that as well. And besides, it's not as if I'm not getting something out of this too. The truth is that part of this really is what I'm taking up in masters. So it's nice to see how what I'm learning actually applies to real life situations.
Thank you. I would like to say thank you to your master's class, your master roles.
I mean, I wasn't trying to psychoanalyze you or anything. I was just genuinely listening to what you were saying.
Exactly.
But that's a trick. Okay, it's not a trick, but it's a skill that we have to learn as being in the field of psychology, is that kind of genuine listening to other people. And thank you for sharing your story and trusting me with that. And
no worries.
With anyone who shares their story, we have to understand and really trust the other person to keep it sacred. And I'm going to keep it sacred. So thank you.
Thank you. But it's fine. It's going to come out either way. So I think whatever is here, it's just great. But I just want to say thank you. It was a wonderful, it's always a wonderful time talking to you. It's just great that I get to have different and grown-up perspectives of the things that I've been going through in my head. So I guess grown-up perspective.
Please, I'm not a grown-up.
Technically, you're a grown-up. Technically, you're more of a grown-up than I am now. But thank you so much. And with all this bonus episode and this bonus hour, I never knew that it was an hour. It was really great. See, this is quality content, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Carl. We'll see you, lovies. And thank you for listening to this bonus episode. So, bye.
You enjoyed this episode? Be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or via RSS. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to know more, check out www.guerrillapodcast.com.au or guerrillapodcast.com.ph. A Guerrilla Podcast Syndicate production.